In this video we're going to look at images and how to find free images because they make your website look great. And you'll notice that with our Publishing Catapult support blog we often use images like that one or these ones here, that one there. So it just adds a little bit of colour. And sometimes it can be really eye-catching. It'll make people gravitate towards a particular article. So that's good. The two places we're going to look at are Google and Flickr. First, Google. Now you can do an image search, and one of the mistakes people sometimes make is they search for images, they find something they like, and they use it, not realizing that most of the images that come up are actually copyright, that you're not allowed to use them. So let's have a look at how you can find images that you are allowed to use. So let's do a search for something basic like internet. Hit the search button. And as you can see, there are a lot of images here from all sorts of places. The problem is we don't know which ones of those are copyright and which ones aren't. So we're just going to click on the options here, go to advanced search, and see they've got a usage rights option here. And if we drop that down, free to use or share even commercially. So that's what we want to select, and then click the advanced search button, and these are all images that are free to use. Now there are sometimes conditions on free to use, and it's a little bit grey, and I'll explain that in a minute. Some people require attribution, and all that means is at the bottom of the image, just in little text like this, you would say picture by so-and-so or image by so-and-so, quite similar to how you sometimes see in the newspaper. They'll have a photo, and then underneath in small text they'll say who the photo was by. Now this one here, as you can see, is Wikimedia. And it's from commons.wikimedia, which is the Creative Commons site. Most of the time they are 100% okay to use because they're under what they call the Creative Commons license, which is a license that is like a public domain license, so anybody is allowed to use those images. And if you scroll down on one of these and have a bit of a look, what it'll say is this is the license here, and it says as part of it, attribution, you must attribute the work in the manner specified by the author or licensor. Now there isn't any particular instructions there as far as attribution goes, so you're quite safe to use something like that. When you get over to Flickr, it's kind of similar, but we'll get into that in a tick. So that's that one. So I could just download that and use that in one of my articles. There are a lot of photos, a lot of pictures, images, all sorts of things that you can use. And of course, once you've got this filter here, labeled for commercial reuse, you can then do another search. You might be doing a dog training site, so dog training, label for commercial reuse. So these are the images that we could use, and as you can see, that one there's from Flickr. The two most common places are Flickr and Wikimedia. So that's an easy way to get free photos that without being concerned about breaching somebody's copyright. Now over on Flickr, I've actually bookmarked this group, which is called Free Use Photos, and as you can see, that's the address there. It's flickr.com/groups/free use. Now the reason I've bookmarked this particular one is down here the group admin says the photos in this group are available for use by anyone. There is no need to give credit or to fear rights infringement. These images are posted by their creators, and by posting this group you're allowing freedom of use. We believe in honesty and freedom. Post your pictures here if you'd like to help set great images free for presentations, reinterpretation and connecting with others. So these are again 100% free, 100% clear of any sort of rights. And so you can see there's a few images there. If we click on more photos, then it'll take us to the big list of photos, and there's all sorts of things you might want to browse through. You might have a website about tractors, and look, there's just all sorts of things: motorcycles, different rooms, houses, cars, lights of some description, just all sorts of things. So you could just scroll through those and pick out a few images, like a nice storm there. So that's a great place to get images. Now, Flickr itself, you can just do a search. If I just click on Flickr here and sort of go to the main area, as you can see, it's got Find Photos. And again, they've got an advanced search so that you can filter it down. So let's do our internet search again on here. And as you can see, lots of images and an advanced search here. So we click on advanced search, scroll down, only search within Creative Commons licensed content, which is the public domain content, and find content to use commercially, because some are public domain but they specifically don't want them used commercially. So then we do a search, and that comes back with a whole lot of images that are related to the internet in some way or other. So let's just click on, let's find something that does look kind of internet. Look, there's a screen. So you can see that's the image there. If we scroll down, now he actually has a request to license there. So that one is attribution. I wouldn't use that one because it's got that additional request to license. So let's keep looking. And there's, looks like an internet shop. And there, it just says some rights reserved. Now this is the grey area, because this here says attribution when you mouse over it. If we click on it, it brings us to this page where it says you're free to share, to remix, to adapt the work, to make commercial use of the work. And then it says you must attribute the work in the manner specified by the author, which is what we saw over on Wikimedia. And there's nothing specific in there. There's nothing specific in here that says that you I would like you to put my name if you use this photo. So, you know, I'm not sure that that needs to have anything added to it. The reason why I say it's grey, if we go back to where we were on our free images, where it very clearly says, when we get there, where it very clearly says from the administrator that they're free to use with no credit, and we click on one of these, it has that same some rights reserved and attribution, but clearly they've said it doesn't require attribution. So I think unless there's something specific in the instructions down here, you should be okay to use that image without having to give any sort of attribution. If you want to be, you know, if you're a little bit concerned that maybe you should, well then simply do it. I mean, it doesn't take anything away from the image to put a little bit of text underneath it on your website saying who the image was by. But my understanding of the license is that if it doesn't have a specific request for some sort of attribution, as it says here, in the manner specified by the author, then you shouldn't need to add anything to the image. Now the third place is one that we've looked at before, and it again is 100% open license, no need to do anything other than use the images, and that was Microsoft Images. We went there in another video. So you just in Google put in Microsoft Images and it's the first link that comes up, and here you have all clip art, photos and animations. So again, you know, you can do a search and it's going to come up with all these images, and if you click on one, it then gives you this little browser down the side, so you can very quickly flick through all the internet related images. And this is a site that I use quite a lot. I've actually had a close look at the license, and it is very clear that you can use these commercially in any way that you want, and they don't require any sort of attribution. So that's another good place to find images. And that's pretty much it for our roundup of image sites. a quick recap. The important thing is to go to that advanced search. Make sure that you've got free to use or share even commercially. Same on here. We've got that that group that I showed you, flickr.com/groups/free use, where they're all free to use. And also when you do a search, when you get to the first result page, you've got this advanced search, and then you can come down here, Creative Commons, content to use commercially. And if you want to be able to modify the images, then tick that one, which means that you can, do all sorts of other things with the images if you're a graphic type. So there you have it. I hope that is a bit of an eye-opener and helps you get some nice colourful images on your website.